Ladies, welcome to part 2 of Reclaiming Your Feminine for my boss babes and Miss Independence. Now, if you missed the first video, you can catch it here, all right? And in this video, first, I'll be covering 3 reasons why it's important to talk to a man through feelings and sensuality, and then go in depth with each reason. And in the second portion of the video, I'll cover how to do it. All right, ladies, this is an ongoing series of upcoming videos designed to help the boss babes and Miss Independence get back in touch with their juicy feminine energy so they can transform their dating and love life and find love with the right man, or bring balance back into their relationship. So be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of it, all right? Okay, so here are 3 reasons why it's so important to talk to a man through feelings and sensuality. Number 1, it's your best chance to activate a man's provider, protector energy. And number 2, weed out Mr. Wrong and confirm Mr. Right. Number 3, bypass his logic and get him to hear you. Yay! And number 4, mutual respect and kindness. All right, so number 1, the best chance of activating a man's provider and protector energy. So when you speak from how you feel, it should activate a man's primal instinctual provider and protector energy to want to provide for you and make you feel safe. Why? Because ladies, a woman's body, her presence, is something a man is naturally protective of because he wants to claim it. I know it sounds caveman, but I'm serious, hear me out. So a man wants to be able to be a part of you by claiming you. And now this next word is honestly the most honest description, so it has to be used. He wants to be able to penetrate you, all right, emotionally and physically. And so your acceptance of him is the goal. And there's nothing that affects the body's response quicker than feelings, right? And depending on how a woman feels, she can retract and withhold or be open and relaxed. And a man wants a woman to feel open to him, okay? So the right masculine man who wants you in his life will want to actively participate in how you feel and then tend to and care for you so you feel safe and happy. But ladies, on the flip side, if a man doesn't care about you, it's not going to matter whether you talk from feelings, send smoke signals, or shoot rainbows up in the sky. You're just never going to get through to him, okay? But if he does, again, the best approach to get through to a man is to talk through your feelings. Number 2, weeding out Mr. Wrong and confirming Mr. Right. Oh my God, ladies, speaking from your feelings is the best way to determine if a man is the right man for you or not, for 2 reasons. Number 1, it shows if he's an emotionally high-functioning, whole man who is capable of giving, sharing, and putting aside ego, or if he's a man who may be superficial, lacks emotional depth, or wounded, and still has some healing to do, and unable to provide true partnership in a relationship, all right? And number 2, it'll show if a man is truly with you because he wants you or not. Because ladies, for men, being present with a woman and hearing how she expresses her feelings isn't always the easiest for them. It can feel overwhelming or confusing to them because they think differently than we do. It's as simple as that. And ladies, the way we use our feelings can sometimes be confusing to a man because feelings aren't as linear as logic. And most men think from logic to make assessments, not feelings. But here's the thing. When a man is truly for you, even though it may feel confusing to him, or, he knows he's on his own personal healing journey and it may take him a little bit longer to meet you where you're feeling, despite it, he will choose to show up consistently and will want to provide for you as best as he can while he walks his own journey, as well as walk with you on yours. He'll want to do it together. Does that make sense? So speaking from your feelings will really sift out if a man is for you or not for you. Okay? And I want to explain reason number 1 a little bit deeper about why talking from your feelings will expose if a man is an emotionally high-functioning man or not in terms of being able to, provide a strong partnership in a relationship. So when you speak from your feelings, you are basically showing a man your heart. your vulnerabilities, your triggers, your fears, your desires, your happiness, your pleasures, etc. And here's the thing. The heart is powerful. And when something that powerful and truthful is shared with someone, they will feel it. And it will make someone either run from it or draw closer to it. Because it's this simple, ladies. If a man can't hold their own heart and make room for their own feelings and run from their own heart, he won't have the capacity to hold your heart. And this is why it's so important to speak from your feelings, your heart. You can weed out Mr. Wrong quite effectively through this method because, ladies, the number one indicator of someone who's capable of real love is by their desire and ability to be present and open to serve someone else's needs, because they aren't scared to hold someone else's heart in their hands because they know they have no problem holding their own heart and hold it with care. And ladies, you want a man who is whole and high functioning emotionally. You want a man who wants to hear you, see you, give and provide for you, love and support you, all right? Number 3, bypassing his logic so he can hear you. All right, so most men think from logic. It's very linear. They rely heavily on logic and facts in their decision-making process, and the solution that comes out of their logic is normally very quick. Why? Because they're the hunters. They have to be able to take calculations and tangible logical facts into their decision-making process, or they'll be killed and eaten by the giant animal they're trying to kill. They think very linear. So, when you speak to a man from the intellect, from the logic, from the thought, they'll start to source logical facts to legitimize your thoughts. And if they don't feel there's facts to legitimize your thoughts, they can easily dismiss it. But when you present a man with emotions and feelings, he can't really debate that. He can, but he can't really. Because it truly is simply that, a feeling, an emotion, right? You can't really debate an emotion as false or true like you can with facts. And also, feelings are associated with sensuality, and most men tend to respond differently to sensuality from a woman rather than the masculine energy of thought, which leaves room for debate. And that feeling you have is either going to cause you to feel happy or unhappy, and a man wants you to be happy so you don't withdraw from him. So his masculine drive is going to try to find a solution and provide for you. Ladies, the right man will want to be masculine for you. Always a great thing to remember, okay? And number 4, mutual respect and kindness. So ladies, putting aside feminine energy for a minute, I truly believe in speaking to all people from a place of consideration, respect, warmth, empathy, and kindness. It just so happens that feminine energy really embodies this. So, when you speak to a man, regardless of how much history you have or don't have with him, try to speak to him as if you've just met. I feel that so often, just because we've been with someone for a certain amount of time, that we forget that basic etiquette and politeness still deserves to be given, right? And so try to speak from a place that isn't telling him what to do or criticizing him, because there's nothing that will repel a man quicker than criticism and or telling him what to do. Ladies, I know you know what I'm talking about. And just think about it from a neutral place. Do you want to be told what to do or be ordered around? Ladies, men can be very sensitive at hearing things that you say to him as telling him what to do. And so again, it's super important to communicate from the feminine energy of feelings. It's a warmer approach, okay? So, always try to speak from a place of holding someone's heart as if it was the most fragile, most important thing in the world, even if you can't quite understand or agree with their logic or actions. Be mindful that we all carry trauma, triggers, and desires to want to be happy, to be appreciated, to be seen and heard. I personally believe that at the core of our lives, all we want is to be seen, heard, accepted, and be loved. So the next time your man says something to you that has the potential to be an argument or a conflict, just take a moment, detach, collect yourself, and then speak from a place of warmth and mindfulness that everyone's heart is made of glass. fragile and full of fears, hopes, and needs just like you. All right? Now that I've explained why it's so important to talk from your feelings, on to the next segment. How to talk to a man through feelings. Okay, here we go. Number one, speak from I feel statements. So start your sentences with I feel. So, I feel sad because, I feel excited when, I feel statements. Don't say I think. Think activates logic in a man. So keep it all connected to your body with I feel. I feel comes across as warm and feminine to a man. And I explained why in reason number one earlier in this video, all right? So number two, how to express negative emotions to a man, or how to handle a situation after you've expressed an issue through feelings a few times, but he still doesn't solve or fix a situation. So ladies, always keep this in mind. The man is the pursuer, the hunter. So even in negative situations, he needs to be the one that assesses and concludes that something is wrong. And then he's the one who has to be the pursuer of the situation and find the solution. Again, he needs to be the one pursuing the situation and then pursuing the solution. He needs to be the one in action, because men are action driven. So when you're trying to express negative feelings or get him to fix the problem you expressed, ladies, you need to create the space for him to be able to get into action and pursue. This is so important. And the number one thing that kills that space for a man is when you tell him something is wrong with criticism, or telling him on repeat over and over and over again. Ladies, all the talking you do will go in one ear and out the other. And all you'll end up being in his eyes is a needy nag. Telling him is not creating space for a man. For him, that actually feels combative and confrontational. In his eyes, it feels extremely masculine, and he will fight you, argue with you, dismiss you, and pull even further away from you. So don't forget that, ladies. So now, how do you create space? Ladies, you simply withdraw yourself. No need for words. You simply pull yourself away from him. You stop giving your energy to him. By the act of withdrawing, you're communicating to him with action. Ladies, don't forget, men are action-based. And if he cares, he will notice it, okay? And he will approach you, AKA pursue you. And when he does and asks you, hey, what's wrong? Ladies, and when you feel ready to respond, don't rush. You don't have to rush, but don't play games either. Ladies, don't play games with silent treatments and abusing distance. Again, my channel is not about that. I know there's videos about dark feminine energy, the femme fatale dark energy, but you know what? I'm not about manipulation, games, playing with a man's fears, dark feminine energy. I believe life is short. Love and connection needs to be truthful. That to me is not womanly. That to me is frivolous girl play. And my videos are if you want to be a grown-ass woman of class, value, depth, and honesty, all right? Okay, so going back, when you feel ready to respond from a centered, warm place, respond with something like, I feel sad and lonely because I haven't had any intimate time with you. I know you've been busy with work these past few months, and it must feel so lonely and frustrating for you too, working so many days. It's just that I felt so happy during the times you would send me sweet texts in the middle of the day. I always had the biggest smile on my face whenever I got a silly text from you. I felt like you were right next to me, even though you weren't, and I didn't feel so lonely. You see that? A portion of that negative feeling, but you're reinforcing with majority positive energy. And also you're giving warmth and empathy, right? You're acknowledging and seeing him too for whatever he might be feeling, right? Empathy, kindness, giving. And all of this was said and addressed from a place of feelings, right? And ladies, also by saying, I always had the biggest smile on my face whenever I got a silly text from you. By doing that, you gave him an image of what your body looks like when he does something for you, AKA provides for you. Ladies, men are visual when it comes to your body. So give it to them. Give a man visualization of what you look like when he makes you feel an emotion. It's your right as a woman to be fully in your body and to be able to share that with a man. All right? So lady, that's it for today. Hope you got some value out of that. And if you did, I ask that you take 2 seconds to hit the like button and comment below. That supports my channel and helps people find this on YouTube. Also, hit subscribe so you don't miss the continuous videos on the series of reclaiming your feminine energy for my boss babes and Miss Independence. And check out these videos here. These are super helpful videos. And the first video, episode 1 of the series, I help women get back in touch with their juicy feminine energy to transform their dating and love life. I also help women create a life of clarity, peace, and happiness by embracing self-love, authenticity, and harnessing power through life challenges. Or just hit the like button and comment below to share good vibes. All right? Thanks, ladies. See you next Friday, sometimes a Saturday. Bye.